So you wanna create a new user on Ubuntu? You're in good luck. Here's how to do it. Roll the intro. And that's quite enough. Okay, so let's go to our Ubuntu. So let's go to our desktop, and this is a fresh installed Ubuntu machine. So currently I'm with the user that was created through or during the setup process. Okay, so this is the user that I was creating throughout the setup. This is the first user you create. You are guided through the setup to create this user, and in my case I am using the student user. To prove this, I will run the id command. This is going to show you who I am, and this is the user I created through the setup process. So if you reach this point to have installed Ubuntu successfully and you are looking at your desktop with the user, if you don't know how to access the terminal, which is the tool we're going to use now, you just need to click on this top bottom left here on this Ubuntu icon and click the terminal. This is going to be the tool we're going to use here to create the user procedure. And I am the student user. You should see the user you have created throughout the setup. So here you're going to see the user you created. You will not see specifically the student user, most likely. You're going to see the user you have created through the setup process. Okay, I don't know which user created. You are going to see that one. So in order to create a new user in Ubuntu, because, well, I don't want to make this a too technical video, but we have two tools to create users. We have the user add and the add user. But in Ubuntu, I highly recommend use the user add tool. So let's do the user add. And we're going to, the other one, the add user. We're going to use the add user tool, and we're going to specify the user name. So let's call it test, just to simplify. Okay. And you get this message, which is, I was expecting to see it. And you probably see this only root may add a user to a group or the system, which is true. You need to have root privileges. You need to be admin or equivalents to be able to add new users. So to do so in Ubuntu, you just do the sudo prefix, and then he's going to ask you for the new user's password. Okay, so you have the user add and the add user utilities available to you, but in Ubuntu, I highly recommend in Ubuntu specifically to use the add user command to do so. Use the add user. The user add in Ubuntu, even though it can work, it's just a little bit too cumbersome. So in Ubuntu, use the add user command and then the username to create. Since you need to be root in Ubuntu, you specify the sudo command or the sudo prefix in order to do so. So you do sudo, okay, and then you will specify the username to create. So sudo will allow the following commands to be run as root. Add user is a command you want to use, and then test is the user to create. Okay, and we are good to go. Now he's going to ask you for a password, and pay attention. This is the password for the user you are currently using sudo with. So this is the password for the user that is currently running the sudo command. Okay. Now be careful with this. You need to be, like I said in the beginning of the video, make sure you are running this with the user you created when you firstly installed your Ubuntu machine. Okay, use the user you created when you firstly installed this Ubuntu machine. Okay, because if it's not, you probably will not be able to run the sudo command. So sudo run as root. The command is add user. This is the user to create. Now this is asking me for the password for the student user. Here we go. I know the password from my user. I will type it, and now it's telling me it's adding the user to all the specified and needed locations on your file system, on your system. If you were using the user add, this procedure will just be a little bit incomplete and a little bit cumbersome. So use the add user. This will just do all the hard stuff for you. Now the password for the new user, I'm going to type the password, and It's going to ask me to type the password twice. I'm using a simple password. That's why it's telling me the password is shorter than 8 characters. So the system recommends the password to be longer than 8 characters. But since I'm running this as the root user using the sudo prefix, I can give it any password with whatever length. I'm getting a notification, but I can carry on with my life as usual. Okay? Now, the following questions are pretty straightforward. You can answer them or just hit enter to leave them blank. And the user is now created. As a quick review, I'm going to run the adduser in Ubuntu. Ubuntu is important. The adduser Ubuntu. Run as root, the adduser, and create this user. It's going to ask you for the password of the user that is running the sudo command. You type the password. Then it's going to add the new user. Okay? And it's going to ask you for the password for that new user. I gave it a very simple password. That's why it's giving me this warning saying that the password is too short, but it's only a warning. I can keep going on. I can carry on as normal. Of course, you should use a more secure password, but in this case, I'm going to use a simple password, and that's just fine. All right, cool. Now, it's going to ask me a few questions that I can just hit enter to leave them blank, and then say yes to accept, and the user is created. Okay. To make sure that this is okay, I'm going to top right. I'm going to hit this power button, and I'm going to do the logout, and this is going to allow me to test the new user. He's going to log out, and the new user should pop in this first menu here. You hit it, you type the password you just gave him on the previous steps. You should be able to see your desktop, and you're pretty much good to go. You will be welcomed with these questions. You can just say next, you can say skip for now, and do not share, and finish. You are good to go. To be completely sure that things just went as expected, you can click the apps or the Ubuntu symbol, hit the terminal button. You are welcome with the terminal like we did on a Unit user, and you can hit the ID command once more to make sure that my user is created. So there we go, user test is created, and the other numbers and IDs don't really matter that much at this point. Just make sure that everything's fine. You can have a console, which means that your new user is just freshly created and ready to be completely used as normal. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I am happy to reply your comments, happy to reply to any questions you may have, and anything you wish or need to know, let me know. Like and subscribe, it will help, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.